We know you love your music, so we'll be quick. We love helping you stream the hottest music. And since you're the de facto DJ, everyone's counting on you. So we reimagined Wi-Fi and created Xfinity XFi so you can stream your favorite tunes with reliable speeds whenever, wherever. Whether you're hosting a party or doing a little spring cleaning, you can stream confidently with XFi. This is beyond Wi-Fi. This is XFi. Visit xfinity.com/XFi to learn more.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're tuning in to the Jedi Masters of Conspiracy. Live from the epicenter of cool, you're listening to the Bruce Montalvo Show.
What's up, y'all? I'm Jah Jah. Right here in Brooklyn, New York, center of everything. All you niggas is jealous.
The center of just total xenophobia and just Islamophobia because there's a million burqas and Jawas here.
Yeah. Jawa. That's Jawa, not Jah Jah.
So I just came back from getting some pita, right?
From the halal place.
And I swear I saw like 7 little burqa ladies that look like Jawas from Star Wars. You know, they like bust a cap on R2-D2.
Like Jawa from Star Wars. Yeah, I know that line.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, no, it's... I said it last week. You walk by these Arabic places in New York, and the first thing I see is nothing but a bunch of Masonic symbolism all over the street. I mean, they're selling Masonic pendants right next to a mosque that has a Masonic checkerboard right in it. So it tells you pretty much what the game plan is, folks. The game plan is to get all of us just crazy in the head that the Muslims are going to come and
the Muslims
and
are
attack
coming.
us,
The Muslims are coming.
when in reality their very Quran was written by the Jesuits. I mean, they're no different than Catholics. I mean, the Catholics have their little fairy tale Christ, and Christ is based off of Mithra. So it's all there. What else do I have to tell these people? No, but they have these idiot psyopers that are working for Bill Hicks and Stratfor and Donald Trump, who Donald Trump says that we need more surveillance, folks. We need the Patriot Act to be reinstored. And these hot dog freaking spear jugglers at the top of alternative media do nothing. Nothing. They don't ask him anything. They'll say, hey, you want the Patriot Act reinstored. No, they cheer. They cheer and they go and they keep trying to vilify the Muslims. To me, I figured out their game plan. Okay, I figured out all these bigots' game plan. And they can cry and whine, oh, Mr. PC. I'm not. You know damn well I'm not. I figured out their game plan. You know what it is? It's to start the great Third World War and turn everyone against the Muslims so they get their one world order. That's what it is.
They tried it out with the Jews, and there's not a whole lot of Jews left to try it on anymore.
And Jah, they cry and they cry and they cry about Christians this and Christians that. Wasn't Hitler a Christian? Yeah. Didn't Hitler say he was Christian? Mm-hmm. I just wanted to get that out. But what do you make of that? Just want to get that off my chest.
I think that they're just controlling. The people at the top control everything. They're creating chaos everywhere, and people are being told to hate the next person, and I don't believe that they should, and that's where I stand.
Really, it's an agenda where they want to turn everyone against everyone, and they want you to fear your neighbor. So really, I just think these people should everyone as Americans, I mean, the smart ones, not the lowest common denominator that loves people like Trump. They need to just really hold their breath and just stand tall.
You know, guys like Donald Trump would never be on Alex Jones' show. Like,
you mean Bill Hicks from Stratfordland?
Okay.
Yeah, go on.
The Alex Jones Show. That's what it's called. So he would,
show.
if there was really a president that was, electable.
Yeah, do you see the midget Rand Paul going on there anytime soon?
Yeah, that's a bad example, Bruce, because he's been on there. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about, could you imagine Barack Obama? Could you, just look at past former, could you imagine Bill Clinton on Alex Jones' show? So why is Donald Trump catering to niggas like Alex Jones?
That guy's low-class scum. He's scum, and I never thought I'd have anything mildly positive to say about the Fiera Barack Obama. But here's the thing. The New World Order picked Barack Obama because not only is he an entertainer, he's a celebrity, but he also knows how to fake that presidential aura. He knows how to fake it. He like white men can't jump. He knows how to fake it until he made it.
Right.
And you would
classy.
never see this freaking jihadi in chief making fun of someone who's retarded.
Yeah.
No, on the other hand, on the other hand, you see him standing with a person who graduated from a school who's blind to Trump, who's got his hand like the guy, the gimp from Scary Movie, who puts his nasty little hand in the mashed potatoes. I mean, come on.
He's there to sidetrack everybody. He's a sideshow. He's a sideshow freak to absorb the shock of whatever remnants of Benghazi still left. So,
and here's the thing: what happened to the third parties too? It's all just Republican Coke and Pepsi.
Yeah, and that was another thing I was going to say about Alex Jones.
This year, that's all it is.
It's like all of a sudden he's sis boom ba for the Republican Party, and like Trump is straight up in the GOP. So
and I will kick your ass, you neocon trash. That's why you had to send your freaking scum all the way out to the freaking mountains, because if you bring them to my stomping grounds, I'll be out here in the garbage cans, just like Brooklyn Brawl, and I'll kick your asses.
The reason why Bruce is so upset with Alice is because he's consistently, every single day, like, talking about hating Muslims, scaring Muslims, and
I've said my things about Muslims too, because, I can't even go to the laundromat where these freaking Palestinians
without hearing about
their more hummus. And I tell those assholes the same thing. I tell them not one freaking inch, all right? It was not 1 inch. It was called Judea a long time ago, and they want to say, oh, no Jews belong there? But Maccabee was, what was that? The Hanukkah story? He was fighting off the Masons back in the day. They kept going in there and putting Baphomet heads in there, desecrating the temple, and they recently found evidence of a Jewish king on the Temple Mount. They recently found evidence of that. So they want to deny and deny and deny. These hummus-eating go-eye idiots, I'll protect their right too, because they're vilifying them in order to get their one world order.
Yeah, well, they keep them dumb. The problem is that, they have their education on lock. So, and I know Muslims that are really bright, but
Judaism predates Islam.
Yeah.
What do these idiots what don't they freaking understand?
You know what that guy said to me? The guy at the laundromat, he says, we was there first, Jah Jah. I was like, first of all, that's not
Donald Trump should make fun of that guy. That guy, to me, I think is remedial.
I said, well, I
think he's very moronical.
Well, he is. He's probably about
he's an imbecile.
About a 62.
He's probably like farting in bathtubs and laughing and shit.
No, he's really dumb. So I was just like, first of all, you don't even know my family. My one side of my family is Sephardic, and they came from Spain. And
that's already too much information for that
yeah.
imbecile. Oh, let me tell you something. There's people like that really get me even started on the Arabs. Other than that, I have pity for them. Like Mr. T would say, I pity the fool. You know why? Because you're stupid. Because to you, it's just dirt, right? You want to fight over dirt. And I get it. Trust me, I get it. I'm Mexican too, you know what I'm saying? Like, they took the West Coast, they just changed the flag. I know all that rhetoric too. But at the same time, it's this agenda of vilifying either the Jew. They got done vilifying the Jew. Now it's time to vilify the Muslim.
Yeah, well, they're
so
not
they could get this Albert Pike prediction of this one world order will be achieved. This KKK bigot world order Because all these guys, Donald Trump, Bill
Very
Hicks,
KKK sounding.
Mischling, Scavenge, all the guys at the top, they're all a bunch of freaking KKK, Nazi, Lebensborn, bloodline bastards working for the Reich. You know, they probably took their Lebens eggs to the Reich's church to slang their freaking, you know, their sperm and whatnot. They have an army of these Lebensborn ruling over us, telling us to fear the hijab. La, 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 la.
There are. That's what they all are, is Lebensborn. Every day I figure out another one. There's nobody that I know that's famous, that's mainstream.
Let me tell you something.
If they're mainstream, they're Lebensborn.
And look up the word Lebensborn. It's a German Nazi master breeding program that started back from World War II, 1933. But here's the thing, Jah. They're taking the word radical. Okay? Let me take a breath here. They're taking the word radical. That was cool. Remember you'd say radical back in the days? Oh, that's radical, radical, radical. And now these Christians just want you to believe radical is a bad word that doesn't pertain to people who skateboard. It pertains to Muslims now. Oh, they're radical. You know, I heard this guy in San Bernardino, again, my old stomping grounds. As soon as I leave, they decide they're going to just do a major Masonic false flag shooting, right? But this guy, the name of the guy, Farouk, what happened? Was it the Nation of Domination from the WWE went in there? Farouk, we are the nation of Islamification. Is that what happened? Mm. I don't buy this. What I'm trying to say is that it's fake, fakety, fake.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, Donald Trump right now, I mean, the Jewish organizations are going crazy. First of all, they're re-releasing Mein Kampf. Remember that?
That's right.
Okay. So it's all over the New York Times. This happened a couple of days ago. They decided to re-release it for some new critical analysis.
Yeah, they're re-releasing the version that Donald Trump reads before he goes to bed.
Yeah, that admittedly so, right?
Yeah, his hoe said so.
Yeah, so they have
the pimp's hoe.
They're screaming at him, the reporters, about Nazi Germany and the fact that, you know, this guy wants the Patriot Act. First of all, I think most of Americans do not even know what the Patriot Act is. They probably think it means more patriotic to protect us from the evil Muslims. It just means more security. It means they're already watching us 24/7 in real time. There's no doubt in my mind.
And here's another thing that these idiots don't realize with all this hoopla and all this bad Newsweek, so they got to fake everything. They passed the NDAA.
That's what I was going to say. That's what you just...
Well, go ahead and...
It's okay. You took the words right out of my mouth.
Exactly.
But that's what I was going to next, is that the NDAA was officially passed, and you know, and that, if you don't know what the NDAA is, that is the
National Defense Authorization Act,
which allows the government to be able to hold you indefinitely, any American, you know, on our grounds, just because they
right out of the Weimar Republic.
Yeah.
Right out of Hitler's Germany.
So this is a wake-up call, basically, to anybody that has a memory for history. You know, if you hear, see, or smell people that are disappearing, then you have to tell, and you have to speak, and you have to talk about it, because you have to save other people. And, you know, there's always going to be a lot of people. What happened in Germany and the other countries that were killing Jews, that they didn't, first of all, they didn't know it. Well, they didn't believe it. First, they didn't know about it because the communication wasn't around. They didn't have Facebook or social media or email or anything like that. But they didn't have that. And then when they were told that, and they were told information, they didn't believe it.
Oh, they're not coming for me. And then meanwhile, they take the other guy next to him. They came for that guy. They won't come for me. And then boom, they came for that guy.
Right.
He didn't believe it. That's exactly how they
thought. And let me tell you, the Germans there, if they went against the order, they got killed. Germans today, if they're born Lebensborn and they don't follow the actual their whatever their handlers
orders
tell, right, their orders from the order, whatever their handlers tell them, they get things like their fingers chopped off, like Jerry Garcia. You know, you know, the CIA will be that's their duty. They're supposed to do that.
No, they have a duty. Yes,
if they don't follow.
They serve the Reich.
Speaking of serving the Reich, you know, Nicki Minaj did a Nazi video once, and it got kind of a stink, you know.
Oh, yeah, Bill Hicks loved it.
Yeah, I remember that. You know, it was pretty. That kind of preempted a lot of stuff.
Anyway, these people are satanic Luciferians. I know where you're going with this, and what you're about to say about Nicki Minaj just proves that it's a cult. It's a satanic cult. And if you let your children listen to this music, they are subliminally being touched by the devil, pretty much.
Her brother, today, it's breaking news, just recently, I think in the past few hours, just got arrested. There's court orders, court documents that state that he's touched kids under 12 years old, girls under 12.
Dear God.
And he's like an old-ass man. He older than Nikki. And he ugly and fat, too. I mean, is he really her brother? His name is not Minaj.
But those are exactly the people who are orchestrating these Masonic false flag shootings. It's the people that run these types of artists, these scumbags. They're not even artists. They're just
they're soulless
pathetic
people. She probably comes from a family. I mean, the guy, anybody who's going to touch a child has mental issues. They have a lot of, anger, mental issues. So whatever household that guy came from, Nikki came from. So if she was raised a mess with whatever family ethics and values that she had to deal with, she is then susceptible to be controlled by a bunch of...
Let's see her fix this situation with her little magic wand. See how that works.
It's her older brother. It has nothing to do with her. She didn't do anything. And she shouldn't even be incriminated for it, actually. I think it's wrong. Okay, so you embarrass her like, oh yeah, it's my fucking brother. Okay, so her brother, but it's not her. She didn't do anything.
But it just shows you that the roots of that tree are poisoned. And they are watered by the very draconian, just druidical order that runs these music artists and their families that are chosen from the very beginning. They're not just made, they're chosen.
Yeah, a lot of them.
And let me tell you, they got together in their little freaking lodges in San Bernardino, these Masons, in their little Lodge 138. You know how many lodges there are in California? You know how many Freemason there are in California? There is the highest amount of Freemason in the country is in California. They plotted this Masonic American Caliphate, ladies and gentlemen. And that's exactly what it is. It is a Masonic American Caliphate manufactured by the CIA. They have army psyops running around. What do you think Jade Helm 15 was about? They were putting all their agents in place. Oregon, just Southern California, France. Again, Friday the 13th, it happened in France. They were telling you right there, that day, in Paris, which means ISIS. They were telling you Friday the 13th, a Masonic holiday for their death. They were killed by the king long ago. The king of France, who was jealous of them. He owed him a lot of money too. But it's all symbolic. You see, they love to tell you what they're going to do. And what did you see? One of our listeners told us right as it was breaking that she was watching CNN and she saw this Masonic handler on CNN with a Masonic baseball hat. So it's telling you right there. I mean, they staged that Bataclan shooting. It was nothing but mannequins and Scalfani's tomato sauce. They're out of control, and they love to tell you what they're doing, what they're going to do, or who's doing it subliminally on outlets like the Clinton News Network or the CIA News Network to just further stupefy the stupid American sheeple populace.
Yeah, the Americans just believe anything. That's why they embrace guys like Donald Trump. I mean, Donald Trump, again, is a funny guy. I wish him well. He's got a great character. I have nothing against him, really, but as a president, we can just keep it moving, you know what I'm saying? Just step
definitely
to the left,
keep it moving, but here's another thing we want to keep moving. What do you make of that retarded Donald Trump video of mine?
Oh, my God.
That thing went full retard. I mean, he's getting banged out in the ass by freaking Mr. Garrison.
Uh-huh. And then you caught him in the retard.
Hey, that thing's going strong. 2,000 hits for a retarded video. Okay. That, to me, proves, America, that you are a bunch of moronical, imbecilic, farting in bathtub idiots.
I was so pissed off that you were wasting your time doing that. I was like, that is the stupidest, silliest thing you've ever made. And I could not believe it got so fast, so high, so many hits, and everybody was watching it. It was crazy. I think everybody's retarded. Who has time to sit and watch stupid
And that's what I'm saying. Here's
like
another thing. Donald Trump making fun of retards. On the very same day, they go and they shoot up some retard care facility in San Bernardino. I think it's funny, isn't it? You see the play on words again. Turkey funny. Shoots down Russian Airbus, a turkey. It's freaking
retarded
to me. How hidden in plain sight. They tell you what they're doing.
Here, he says, Donald Trump, if elected, said he would require all Muslim Americans to register in a national database to carry special ID cards to be tracked by the government.
That's right. He wants more surveillance. And
specifically on Muslim Americans. Disgusting. So a reporter from NBC asked him, Mr. Trump, why would Muslim databases not be the same thing as requiring Jews to register in Nazi Germany? He had no answer. In politics, we know the Nazi comparison isn't to be used lightly, but when a politician suggests the actual path of the Nazis, we have to be bold. As American Jews, we must demand the answer for his dangerous rhetoric.
He's quoting Hitler's playbook straight up.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, Rachel saying stuff, the New York Times is saying stuff, and then the ADL, piece of shit, freaking organization, all right, totally run by Nazis, co-opted, bullshit, okay, they are such a lie. They come out like lawyers.
Yeah, you think they're Jews, but
they're not
they're
Jews.
Nazis.
They're not Jews. They're not Jews. They're just,
Michelin.
they're totally creating.
Lebensborn, who knows?
Yeah, they're totally trying to create the tone and the sentiment. So they acted like the judge and lawyerly, and they said, we do not believe that the intent of Mr. Trump, the future hopeful president to be, really meant anything against Jewish people with any negative intention. We do not believe that there was anything anti-Semitic.
Right. And I don't believe that Netanyahu looks like Alfred Rosenberg.
Right. We don't believe, and so does the new ADL. Jeffrey, whoever the head of the new ADL that was just appointed a few weeks ago, looks like he could be related to Alfred Rosenberg and Netanyahu. He's like a nephew, a cousin. They're all freaking in it. Fuck them. I don't even care about Israel. Fuck them.
Okay, so Jah Jah just got up very angrily.
Yeah, I got him to get a weed because
Israel
gets me crazy.
But here's the thing. Just
because Israel's there and it's Jewish, it doesn't make...
They're
not my government, okay? They're there. They make their own shit. They got their own policies. Any Jew that wants to live there is got to be crazy.
Okay, I want to transition from Israel for a second because it's imperative that we continue to break down the San Bernardino false flag shooting because it happened in my own stomping ground.
Yeah, that's upsetting.
It happened in my old stomping grounds. Ladies and gentlemen, I worked in that area as a security guard, armed security guard. So if I would have seen anything like this happening, you would have known I would have put two to the chest to whatever Wahhabi CIA agent was setting up this fake drill. And guess what? I would have become enemy of the state. Like in Grand Theft Auto, the video game, I would have gotten like 5 stars. And guess who becomes enemy of the state? Me, and then I have something to do with it. Let me tell you something what pisses me off about these false flags. Most of the time, if not all the time, these false flags have been coordinated by the FBI long before anything happens. They have this surveillance state where they know everything everyone is doing at all times. But meanwhile, the NSA can't even protect themselves from trannies busting down the NSA headquarters doors. So that just goes to show you that the surveillance state is a complete just hoax. Will never work. They'll never be able to stop anything from happening. If anything, all these people that talk shit about rent-a-cops, you should really embrace your security guard because he's really on the front lines of any type of manufactured government terrorism. The security guard will be there. He'll be able to render aid. Hell, if you're a woman walking in the car garage or whatever, late at night,
so you
could be raped, right? Who's gonna be there? That rent-a-cop that you love to spit on and hate on so much. But thank God I don't do that type of work anymore. But here's the thing: I graduated out of San Bernardino College. I got a degree in criminal justice. So they're insulting my intelligence by pulling off this false flag in my old thicket of solitude. And you've heard me before say that I consider San Bernardino to be a toilet. Okay, but here's the thing. I broadcasted out of that toilet, and it wasn't a toilet. I mean, I broadcasted out of AM 1050, the local NBC area. It was Loma Linda, Los Angeles. It reached, had just a good satellite. Thanks to that, we're on TalkStream Live today. they consider me a real
Right, it was
broadcaster,
a fancy building, but you know.
But that's the thing. My heart truly goes out to the people who think this is
They're done.
this is affecting them,
They're
and they're all afraid and worried. Here's the thing: there was a councilman. Around 2012 that said, I believe his name was Penman, Jim Penman. He said, "Lock your doors and get your guns." The economy has hit San Bernardino just as bad as some of the Imperial County areas in California. I mean, it's just nothing but poverty. And it's not the type of place where you see Jewish people or anything like that. It's mainly, let me tell you, it's mainly, because I know where Jewish people hang out. They hang out in Brooklyn over here or in freaking Beverly Hills or by Pink's Hot Dogs. San Bernardino is mainly EBT toddlers that are 2 years old. A bunch of babies, kids, riding on handlebars at 2 years old, if not 1 week old. And just a bunch of freaking little paisas on the corner with oranges and flowers. That's all San Bernardino is. It has nothing. Why was
Alex Jones saying that?
It has nothing to do with Jews. It has not. It's. That's how I know that this manifesto they put out. I told you they're going to put out some type of manifesto. So under the burqa, alleged allegiance. She pledged allegiance to ISIS on Facebook. It was really, you remember that movie Nightcrawler we were watching with Jake Gyllenhaal guy, and he was going around, and it kind of reminded me of when I was like staking out that news story for Michael Hastings' death late night. I was out there in LA late night. Well, these news reporters, they stormed the San Bernardino home of these patsies, because that's what they are, patsies. They set them up. The drill went live. The guy was probably being talked to by the FBI. Okay, we're gonna. It's a drill. I mean, the San Bernardino SWAT team was even training for a drill. They're connecting all the false flags together. Sandy Hook with this one, and I'm telling you that the news acted like that guy Nightcrawler, going into this guy's house, getting all sorts of inside scoops, going on his Facebook. I mean, they literally logged into the dead guy's computer. I mean, you see him in a pool of blood, and then 30 minutes later, the media is in this patsy's house going through his freaking computer.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. They can do whatever they want. That's another thing that organized One World Order, these drills, these, they're just systemizing the NDAA, their methods of just entering and controlling and then washing things out of the media, whatever they don't want you to know, and just, pushing guys like you and I down, and so...
Guys and gals.
Yeah. Yeah, they push us. We're like nobodies comparatively to, like, their mainstream people who are sucking the big corporate dick. And they are totally doing whatever they're told, where guys like Alex, although he did have a good show about GMO and whatever, he had Jeffrey Smith on.
Oh, you mean Clyden?
No. Well, he did too, but Alex did as well. He had like Jeffrey Smith.
Yeah, here's the thing: all these alternative media heads, they're all fat asses. Okay, they all talk about storing food. I think they're really storing food in their freaking bellies. And you know what? If you think I'm a fat ass, I'll take off my shirt. Or Jah could just vouch that I'm too sexy for my shit. No, really. They're all a bunch of fat asses. How do you think I would get a hot hip-hop babe like Jah if I was some fat ass like Bill Hicks? It wouldn't happen, folks. I radiate sex. I might as well change my name to Thunder Lips.
Stop it.
The molten mountain of lust. Anyway.
You can have all these troll girls come on your face and be like, "Oh yeah, Bruce."
Trolls? Ugh, that sounds pretty disgusting. Trolls with the blue hair. Okay, look. These agents that faked this Masonic shooting, they probably faked the moans and wails with some PA. Oh yeah. They set up some little stereo. Oh, they're screaming. Yes, there's a lot of dead. They put a little paint on there because, we say show us the fucking blood. And they do. They show us fake Halloween blood and then laugh about it. But
special FX channel.
And that's the thing about the Masons. See, they're laughing. They're laughing pulling this off. they're laughing. They're saying,
Most
we're
of them
going
don't
to be
get it.
here when you're gone, and our one world order will be triumphant as soon as we get everyone against the Jews and everyone against the Muslims. We'll have this one world order. I mean, you see it everywhere. We're watching Fox, the Gotham series, the Batman series, and you see they kidnapped young Bruce Wayne, put him in white sacrificial regalia, a robe, and there was a bunch of Jesuits in a lodge.
Yeah.
In a lodge.
And lo and behold, Bruce could swear like 99% sure that Bruce Wayne, which we believe is Tom Hanks' son, the guy who's playing
this kid in Gotham, I saw him down the street probably getting a burrito or
well, he wasn't getting anything. He was just passing you right on the crossroads. Right, and he looked
piece of spicy turkey halal. That's the thing you got to watch out for, folks. If you're going to watch out for Muslims, they might throw a piece of spicy turkey halal at you.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't eat that.
Other than that, you got nothing to worry about.
No, the only thing I wouldn't do with halal is eat their halal on the street, because those street vendors, they put their vending carts in like garages where there's rats and roaches and all kinds of infested vermin that kind of go all over their carts. But I wanted to just kind of quote a friend of mine who just wrote. He's a writer. He's from Holland, actually. And he's Jewish, and he wrote a very short thing on his Facebook. He said, it's based off of a book that's called The Secret War Against Jews, and how the Western espionage betrayed the Jewish people. And it's by John Loftus and Mark Ahrens in 1994. And he said, he quoted, "The politics of hate. The left is being played by Arab Nazis, and the right is being played by Western Nazis, with the Jews stuck in the middle. While the rich get richer and the poor get poorer, the Jews are being scapegoat for being the evil capitalists and the evil socialists, and being responsible for undermining world peace while being constantly attacked by Arab Nazis in Israel. All the while, the Arab Nazis and the Western Nazis get richer and richer through their oil wealth and the misery it creates." So that's what's happening. So all the innocent good people go, huh? Who? Why are they trying to make me hate everybody?
You know who's trying to make you hate everybody? It's the freaking Masons. And I know I sound like a broken record, and people who know who I am, who know me from alternative media and the underground, they're like, damn, that guy just fucking is always on that Mason freaking expose. Well, you know what? If you don't believe me, go look back a couple of weeks before this false flag happened in San Bernardino, and you'll see that the Daily Mail wrote an article describing if the Masons really do have as much power or possess as much power over influence over the world. I mean, they put that out before all this happened. Then you see some fat freaking guy that looks like the logo from the King Taco Man in L.A., the little butcher, a little fat man with a Mason hat. Oh yeah, I saw three guys, 3 white guys. Now, that's the thing. First they tell you saw 3 white guys. Then it turns out to be some Farouk from the Nation of Domination and Malik. It sounds like Farouk versus Ahmed Johnson. It sounds fake to me. It sounds fake and manufactured by these freaking Masons.
It's so fake that today, 20 minutes before we went on, there was some news clip about some guy named Budweiser caught trespassing on the Budweiser plant. You know, he's like 19 years old. I mean, that sounds like such a fake news story. I mean, the guy's name is Budweiser, and then just trespassing on... That sounds like a CIA name, just like a fake fucking name, you know? They just could do whatever they want.
Most people don't know about San Bernardino that it was the murder capital of the world in the 90s. I know for a fact, growing up, I didn't grow up around San Bernardino. I mean, I was like 10 minutes away. I was in downtown Riverside and around that general Inland Empire area. But I mean, growing up, every day someone would get popped in San Bernardino. So what freaking difference does it make? And what the hell are Arabs going to be looking for Jews in San Bernardino? You're not going to find them there. You're going to find EBT toddlers that are riding on handlebars. That's all you're going to find there. This is the complete... It has all the earmarks of a total and complete destabilization style false flag.
Yeah, and those
they want to
people
bring
are
in
like,
gun control, and they're sending Jerry Brown to France to talk about global warming when we know global warming is an absolute hoax. The polar ice caps are expanding, and I don't like to quote neocons, but sometimes they throw out good studies like the Vostok ice samples that refute global warming. Actually, it's getting colder, not hotter.
Yeah.
So, there you go.
Yeah.
It's all complete and just utter hawk of hooey.
Well, it has to be getting cooler because the sun is what the life force is.
Here's the thing:
and
you say
it's a
global
star, and then
climate change. The climate changes every day.
Yes.
Every day it goes hot and cold. Duh! And then they want to talk about global warming. You know what global warming is, Jah?
Geoengineering.
It's called the sun. It's called the sun goes up, and then I feel the sun's warmth
Yes,
on my arm.
Yes, but they have geoengineering.
Give me a break.
Yes, you're right. But there's also geoengineering that they will implement, and that's probably paid for. It can be paid for by any private corporation, company, or any individual. Actually, if you have enough money, you can kind of make it rain or make it hot or make it dry.
We don't want to do that. Take your soul if you make it rain.
Rain Man. But you can make it. You can order any weather modification service from Russia to Texas. No, if I owned a farm in Oklahoma and I wanted it rained on because it was too dry, I could give some organization, some company, $20,000, $50,000 and make it freaking rain. If I was Con Edison, and I knew that at 6 o'clock everybody gonna be home from New York, and it's like a nice cool day, like it's like 70 degrees. Make sure at like 7:30, 8 o'clock we're gonna make it get hotter. Since when does it get hotter? At night, and they've been doing that systematically for the past 4, 5, 6 years, and it's not just hot. It's not just a little heat. It's a dry heat that you could feel.
Oh, you feel that there's something manufactured, something toxic in the air,
and that's global warming.
And you know what else is toxic? The way they try to talk to everybody nowadays, like they're a stupid child. Like the government is Barney the freaking dinosaur. They put themselves in a purple suit, trying to tell you to believe. Oh, yes, 14 people died. Yes, in San Bernardino. You have to believe it.
Where are the people
Where
crying? Where are the
is the comparison to the Mexican media? When I was growing up, my granny, she would read all these narco freaking magazines with guys that had their heads cut off, and you see the blood there. See the blood, real blood on the floor. So when I see this blood from Sandy Hook, and they're linking Sandy Hook to San Bernardino, and supposedly the Eagles of Death Metal were singing about San Bernardino, and then you had a councilman telling you to lock your doors and load your guns and pack heat in San Bernardino, so they've been plotting something. And like I said earlier, there are so many freaking Masons in California, it's not even funny. But if you do the comparison to the Mexican media versus the American media, you will laugh at how stupefied they think you are. They literally think you sit in front of the TV and watch Barney for news.
Yeah, and they just know what they can get away with. They figured with the Ebola scandal and the hoax that they could just show you a few stretchers and a few important-looking suits and colors and it looks official. Well, I mean, just watch. Anybody ever go to a theater? Did you ever watch a really good choreographed ballet or dance?
Theater. That's what it is.
All it is.
First
like
of all,
set.
it's green screen. Jah, you seen how they do green screen stuff? They could easily green screen any single one of these false flags.
But even they could do it
they
on,
have
even
the
on
technology
location.
to do it.
They can do that, but even it's easier on location. They could just get their guys and move the stretchers and put the uniforms on.
They had nothing there. It was just a congregation of a bunch of EMS guys in San Bernardino, a bunch of just security guards, or a bunch of Blackwater.
You don't see chaos. You don't see panicking. You don't see hysterical people crying, raging, real tragedy anywhere. No, but you are told to make believe that it is real, and now that you're. Let me tell you something. Your psychic mind knows it's not real, but you're being told it's real, so you are in conflict if you believe it's real, because now you are not going to resonate it as truth, and you don't understand why you're not sad for these people. So it actually numbs people with all this crazy lies, and then you don't know what's true anymore, and you don't know to feel pain or what. I mean, Could you really shed it? Did anybody really shed a fucking tear?
Did anybody? Here's
people?
the thing. Here's what I want to know about Americans and how stupid they are. They put the flag of France over their Facebook, but did anybody put the American flag on their Facebook for this supposed tragedy, this supposed killing?
Right. Nobody cared about that.
Americans are imbeciles. Unfortunately, I mean, I'm proud that I grew up with the real patriot mentality. I'm not an army psyop guy, so, nowadays, patriot. No, when I say patriot, I really mean patriot. I figured it out.
What are those?
But they really are just ramping up the Albert Pike KKK versus Muslim Great War. And shows like this tell you not to believe in the church and state's propaganda. Don't believe the media. You know why? Because they're all run by the Nazi high command.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say before, Bruce, is that even though Bruce says Masons, yeah, the Masons they're all together. And there's Jewish Masons, and there's Muslim Masons, and there's all kinds of Masons. And those people are just acting out the parts of what their higher-ups are told. And their higher-ups are told. And what their higher-ups are told. And all to get jobs, all to have connections, all to get work. But who are those people at the very, very top? Who are those people at the Bohemian Grove? We figured it out. All those alternative talk show hosts, they want to keep their mouths shut, except for like one or two, actually. I heard mention that they are Nazis, and they are like...
Yeah, but the people don't care. The American people are stupid. American people care more about Leonardo DiCaprio getting raped by a freaking bear or Kim Kardashian's fat-ass cankles than the NDAA being passed.
Yeah, they don't know. They think that's, like, good. They think that's, like, Panda Bear or something now. They don't know. What's the difference between NDAA and NAMBLA? I mean, they don't know anything, Boy, man,
a bunch of freaking boy lovers. That's what they are.
They don't know anything.
Nicki Minaj's brother was probably a member of... He probably looks like Marlon Brando a little bit. Part of natural Marlon Brando lookalikes.
Speaking of lookalikes... Look at the girls over here. They say San Bernardino shooting victims identified.
They were probably just a bunch of TAP employees that were fired for this false flag destabilization hoax.
Don't they look like Lisa Flam? Don't they look like they could be her sister or her cousin?
She kind of looks like Nina Pham.
Yeah, they look like the Nina Pham family.
The Ebola hoax crisis actress.
Yeah, and she was also involved with some murder.
They got an Illuminati card game card about her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I wonder if Nicki Minaj's brother was involved with that whole Jimmy Savile BBC pedo scandal.
I don't think so.
Of course
he... No, because he's black, I'm joking. And those guys are all white.
I'm joking, but you know what? It's all interconnected. It's all tentacles of the same hydra.
They're not hanging out like
that. I didn't say they were. I'm just making a funny. I can't make a funny.
You can make a funny. Yeah. Yeah, but I don't think so. I think those are a different type of breed person anyway. One's a real... They're all lowlifes, but whatever. That's it. I mean, they catch them all, you know what I'm saying? But it's not for me. I'm not a police, so let the police do their job. I'm just reporting the news. Give my little 2 cent commentaries.
I want to do a poll on exposednewsalternative.wordpress.com. How many of our listeners out there actually think that Hillary Clinton has chlamydia?
Oh, shut up.
How many?
Leave Hillary alone!
Okay, Jah Jah.
Isn't that what they did to Britney?
Yeah. Here's another thing that I think is funny, too, since I wanted to mention Hillary just for the second. They always talk about Hillary's emails. Hillary's emails this, Hillary's emails that. What about how Bill emails? Bill probably emails jerking it inside the bathroom. Probably.
Well, that guy. Actually,
that's how he sends all his emails. You talk about the
pedos. I mean, he was involved with Sandowski and Epstein and stuff like
that. Epstein.
There was a crew of them. They were going to an island. And they were regularly engaging in 14, 15, 16-year-old girls. That's like consistent. I mean, he was on the record. There was like reports, there's articles all over the place stating it. But they kept that really down, hush hush. Of course, mainstream doesn't want to let that out.
That's right. Mainstream and the baby gap shopping, fat-ass, male pattern, baldness, COINTELPRO out there will not tell you what we tell you on the Bruce Montalvo Show, folks. Broadcasting live, worldwide, international, on TalkStream Live, 9 p.m. Eastern every Friday.
And we're not the kind of Jews like Aaron Klein, You know what I'm saying? Who,
Ugh, I hate that snickering bastard.
Yeah.
Him and that fat old comedian. It's nothing but snicker hour. Yeah.
Jackie Mason. Oh, we're Jews.
That guy's not even funny.
We're Jews. You like our voices? We're Jews.
Oh my
Jewish
God.
people. Have a knish, Bruce.
Yeah, America, if you truly want Donald Trump as a president, then you have become nothing but a whore. You have become nothing but a whore, America, and you deserve your pimp. You deserve your pimp as a president. So that's all I got to say about that.
But I don't even think that we'd be entertained enough to say with Donald Trump as president. Because, like, if he ever got elected, which he won't, it would just be, like, complete comedy for us. You know what I'm saying? We'd have, like, a lot of material to be laughing at. But we won't be that lucky. We're going to have Hillary. I could just see it. So that's it. I mean,
the reptilian wench will prevail in 2016.
A wench.
Here's the thing. I wanted to break down some of the terminology we use here on the Bruce Montalvo show. I've been saying EBT baby a lot. Now, EBT baby means undesirable. That's right. And anchor baby means undesirable. But Nazi test tube babies, they pay the rent. Yeah. They are the eggs of the right kind, my friend.
Yes.
And guess what? New York has become the headquarters of the SS.
You know what? Growing up in New York, struggling here, you know, it's hard. And to be an artist is hard. So we know somebody...
You said hard.
Yeah,
go on.
Hard. So I know somebody, you know, I'm not going to say any names or anything, but... Like, she's really bitchy, right? But I wasn't really, like, was wondering where she come from and, like, why she thinks she's a comedian. And then we checked out her stuff, and it's really, really not funny. I mean, not funny.
You know, Aziz is almost funnier, and that guy is, like, the most unfunny bastard in the world. I mean, really, they should just put Aziz and Seth Rogen in a rocket and just shoot it up in space and watch it just, like, explode into nothingness. Because those people just... they shouldn't even be around.
Meanwhile, this redhead is hanging out with Jimmy Fallon and all kinds of fancy people and getting booked at all these clubs. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. I mean, she's not funny, and she's okay looking. She looks just like Ron Howard. So I was just, and then I saw, like, I'm not going to tell you how, but I found out that she was, like, going to the hospital and giving her eggs up for money. And, you know, then I was like, I said something to one of her friends. I said, is she okay? And I was like, you know, for what? I was like, oh, because of her, you know, taking out her eggs. She's like, oh, she does it so often. You know, I can't even remember how many times she's been in the hospital. So I was like, oh, she gets like $20,000 every time she gets those Lieber's born. So Bruce.
Lieben's ovaries.
Yeah, Lieber's ovaries, man. So Bruce was like, he was talking about something, and then he mentions another guy named Ron White, but he wanted to say Ron White.
Yeah, the comedian. I wanted to say Ron White.
He wanted to compare her to Ron White, but then said Ron Howard. I looked at him, I said, wait a second. I pulled up pictures of Ron Howard, and I pulled up her photos. Identical. And not just identical, her face is in the same positions. She got the same eyes, shape eyes, same color eyes, same teeth.
And that goes smile, with the moral of the show's story that if of the right race, all you have to do is lay an egg.
Yeah, all you got to do is lay an egg. You know, and
that's exactly what these comedians do. Like Aziz, all they do is lay eggs. How the hell? I mean, Aziz must be some type of just Hanzar division freaking Muslim Nazi or something.
Could be.
He is not funny, and they put that guy in everything.
Look, they locate their people everywhere.
He should be working at a Chick-fil-A or something.
All of the ruling people right now are all, like, of Germanic descent. Most of them. I mean, even the black people, some of them. They bred into them. The Jewish people. That's why then when they say that there's fake Jews, there's fake Jews. They're saying they're Jewish. I don't even think Aaron Klein is Jewish. I think that he's brought up Jewish, but I think that he knows he's probably German and is just a Michelin, you know. And that's where I think that a lot of these people are, and they're brought up as the ultimate epitome of what a Jew is. What a Jew is not Woody Allen. What a Jew is not Steven Spielberg. It's not Bernanke. It's not all these icons that you think you can identify. Jackie Mason. Jackie Mason. I doubt he's Jewish, okay?
Jackie Mason. And, you know, here's another thing, going back to this Masonic shooting in San Bernardino. That's what is intended to do, folks, is to throw the net of fear, the global net of Freemasonry, which is fear, over the globe, and pretty much take over the world.
And
that's how the communists would catch their prey. They would catch them with nets.
Wow. Yeah. It's crazy, man.
Okay,
and then they got everybody
you have all these Masonic police. That's what it was. That's what it was. Yeah, even the kids at school are snitching each other, and they got apps so you could snitch on people and
Etsy
call
set up that way.
Freaking Homeland Security. But here's the thing: even the patches that the police force wears on their off time, they all have Masonic symbolism. The lawyers, the judges, the cops, they're all part of this grand chessboard of Freemasonry that constitutes the United States of America's founding. I mean, George Washington was killed by Adam Weishaupt. Adam Weishaupt took his place. That's why you see George Washington, the young George Washington, look nothing like the newer George Washington. And I even got basically kicked out of the Met Museum, and I had the NSA erase my footage of the George Washington expose I did at the Met Museum.
Metropolitan Museum of Art, absolutely.
And they deleted it off my phone.
That was insane.
That NSA deleted
we saw the red light
evidence
go off.
That Adam Weishaupt killed George Washington, took over this country. That's why you see from an aerial view of Washington, D.C., it's a pentagram, it's the level and compass, and that is why you saw that freaking handler on CNN with that Masonic hat. Because the police force earlier in the year, they had this story about L.A. police, freaking L.A. police outfits that weren't even police, Masonic police outfits, patrolling.
What people need to do is actually go to a police, or somebody has to have a whistleblower in their family, and eventually it's got to come out that they were just doing a drill. I mean, why does everything have to be, no, it's top secret. They're told, oh no, you're on a top secret mission. This is a drill. We cannot let the public know. You're under strict orders. You know, you can't do it. You can't even tell people.
That's the thing.
Family.
You know what they are? They're just the Masons' minions out there on San Bernardino. And that's why you see the EMS, they're even kind of like dressed like the minions from the Disney movie. And if you look at the minions from Disney, they got a little G on their suspenders, on their lederhosen. However they sound. Yeah. So the minions are Masons, and the Masons have their minions out there orchestrating all these false flags just because they have a slow news week.
So then guys like Alex Jones, they're all honeypotting, and the other ones, you know, Debbie Ding Dongs, they honeypot, you know, for people that think that they can, they're collecting people that are not Masons. You know?
I mean, that whole area of San Bernardino, they got a Scottish Rite of Freemasonry lodge there. They got all these lodges, and it's the guys that attend those lodges that are Army PSYOPs, that are Marines and whatnot. And you see them now mobilizing, and they're patriots. They're not patriots. They're Masons. I want to know why these Masons freaking lodges are never attacked. Okay, why aren't they attacked? Why? Because they're the ones that are attacking other people.
Right. Because nobody knows anything.
The Inquisition continues.
Because people are kept dumb, and they believe everything that they're told, whatever the news
I'm sick of it! I'll fight these bastards to the death!
Let me ask you something. If the police went in there like as a community organization, and they just used this whole crisis thing, and they started lying to the people there, like the public, in San Bernardino, and saying, oh yes, we are under strict wars now. And they started like tapping... They started tapping on everybody's door, knocking on everybody's door, and taking their guns. And do you think they would like get away with it too? Because people are so stupid.
Let me tell you something. Donald Trump wants to talk about kicking out all the Mexicans. I think he forgot that in the first Mexican-American War, there was almost or nearly the same amount of casualties, and that bastard Davy Crockett in the Alamo was running like a little scared bitch, who ended up getting executed. I'm not saying I side with the Mexicans and their tyranny, their draconian tyranny at the time. But the thing is, even Abraham Lincoln said that those lands in the West were inherently Mexican, and why are we going to go start a quagmire over there and fight the weaker world? And that's the thing. That's what America has become since that first Mexican-American War. We have Afghanistan, we have Libya, we have Iraq, we have the quagmire that is the Middle East. It just history repeats itself.
Absolutely.
They always want to pick on the
history.
weaker world because the weaker world is always wrong.
Yeah. Well, if you keep people dumb, they can never really understand, and you can tell them a lie, and they believe it. You know, gobos repeat the lie enough times, and people believe it. So,
anyway, folks, there's one thing we want you to believe, and we want you to believe that we do have some holiday cheer, and we have many holiday specials, and Jah's going to tell you about them, right?
Yeah, we have a 50% off sale right now going on Etsy, the Conceptual Subculture store. It's whole store wide. You know, you got your orgonite. I have a few things left. There's like tribal earrings, bracelets, necklaces, beaded necklaces, brutalish, rustic, and actual natural beads, not fake, and everything's labeled. We have real sterling, copper, handmade, everything one of a kind, unique.
Where do they go to find it? Go
to etsy.com/shop/conceptual subculture, one word. You could just type in etsy.com, ETSY.com, and type in conceptual subculture. Or you could just go to Google and type in conceptual subculture, one word. I'm sure it'll show up.
And here's what I wanted to talk about before we run out of time. It seems all the ISIS hysteria has postponed Hanukkah in France. What do you believe? What do you make of
that is just...
They're telling the Jews not to put out their menorahs, not to celebrate Hanukkah.
They hate Jews. You know they hate Jews over there.
Because of this Egyptian deity ISIS.
Yeah. Well, yeah, no, it's horrible. They don't want people to pray. You know, they don't want people to celebrate. They want people to fear their own name, of their own identification. They want to fear. They want people to fear themselves.
Yeah, fear who they are.
And they want other people to fear them too. So that's what's going on. It's a complete vilification of the Jewish people, and anybody that's Jewish that happens to be listening to this should identify it as such and understand that it is going on in the weirdest ways. And I'm not saying that all non-Jews don't like you. That's not the case at all. I'm saying for this non-Jews also should be aware of slanted information that's being told to you about.
It's being propagated by the Nazis.
Rulers,
it's the same Nazis. It's the same Nazis that say that Hollywood is run by the Jews and that the Saudis took it over. Give me a freaking break.
You know what I think?
The only time I see Arabs in Hollywood is when I go into the 7-Eleven to get a freaking slushie, my friend. Thank you very much, buddy.
You know where you'll see the most Jews?
Where?
As a doctor and as a lawyer. You know why? What? Because all Jewish mothers want their children to be doctors or a lawyer.
Well, it's in the Torah that you should... The most important lesson to teach your children is just teach.
Yeah.
And teach your children. That is in the Torah.
Right. And people really, like my brother went to law school and he thought he could really, do well because he was interested in law and he could help people, but then he went through the regime and the whole school thing, and he said, I really can't be a shyster, so I'm not going to be a lawyer. I just can't do it. Everybody was pissed off at him because he went to school and everything for it, but he just couldn't bring himself to try to, he thought that he'd have to, hurt another person or try to shice money out of some people or do so. I don't even necessarily believe that because I think some lawyers are really good, and I don't think that all lawyers are bad, and I don't think that it's fair for them to get such a bad rap.
Well, here's the thing. I don't like lawyers who work for Monsanto like Hillary Clinton. That's for sure. And the Rose Law Firm.
Yeah,
Look that up. I do not like those type of scumbag lawyers. And then these same type of scumbag lawyers who defend pedophiles and then defend Richard Nixon and Watergate, and we all know what that was. Tricky Dick was pretty much just trying to hide evidence of that whole JFK killing that he was behind.
That's true. That is that bombshell information that Hillary Clinton...
He's an attorney for Monsanto.
No, you can't say that. Okay, I don't have any paperwork yet to back that up. She worked as far as I know, she worked in the same law firm that defended Monsanto. Was her work on any of the defense papers? Was she working in there? I don't know if she was even there at the same time, but she worked with those same people that defended
Okay, that being said, we got a minute left. Let's get into some Star Whackers.
What's up with the Stone Temple Pilots?
Stone Temple Pilots. Kind of that whole guy that inspired Creed and pretty much ripped off Pearl Jam. COINTELPRO love to listen to this guy's music. You know what? I never really was an STP listening guy, you know what I mean? I didn't really like the grunge. But here's the thing. This guy is definitely out of Laurel Canyon. He was in a band with Slash, who's manufactured from Laurel Canyon, Illuminati, Process Church, Hollywood mind-controlled Illuminati. And this guy, Scott Weiland, former singer of Stone Temple Pilots, dead at 48. Apparently they found cocaine in his tour bus. What do you think? Do you think they sent the same guys that tried to whack Randy Quaid? Look at him dressed in Nazi regalia.
Wait a second. This guy's
a total Nazi. I mean, I think he could have faked his death. What happened?
Wait a second. Stop. This guy is related to David Bowie. He's got to be one of Bowie's cousins.
Okay.
He's got those same, which is a relative of Franchise. Yeah, and he was an air fighter.
Okay, so he looks like that. But I wanted to ask you this. So he looks like that. So he looks a little like that. But what do you think? Do you think this guy really died doing coke?
Yes.
Okay, so it wasn't the Star Whackers went in and
he looks like a freak. He
wanted to take his royalties.
Okay. Yeah, no. I think this guy looks like he is invincible, and he
looks like a total Nazi to me.
Yeah, we look at that hat here. Look at that.
Yeah.
Oh, give me a break. Anyway, he looks like a real cokehead.
He shed one tear for this pig fucking swine.
Whatever. Look at him. He looks like a wreck. He's probably they probably threw him on stage. He's not 48. He's older than that. He looks about 60. Okay, so either it's the life of being on tour or the drugs itself, but he completely. That kind of a dude probably wore himself to a complete mess. I know a person that looks like that in the art world. I'm not going to say any fucking names, but he does a lot of coke, and he looks exactly like that, and he also...
Because that's what gets me, because you got all these guys like Keith Richards and Ozzy Osbourne who can snort an anthill of fire ants. And you got this guy. I mean, he didn't have enough balls. He was a pusillanimous asshat. He just keeled over, or he wasn't good enough. He wasn't a good enough rocker that because the best rockers are the ones that can do the most.
Well, they say they're the master race, so maybe they don't have the right constitution. It's just an experiment.
It's the right kind of constitution.
They did not have the right. This particular gene of people, they cannot take too much cocaine. Okay? Maybe Ozzy's people can. That's all.
Okay, so there's our 2 cents. We don't know either. He's dead. But
mark it down for the experiment.
One thing we do know is that he's a Nazi. That's for sure. And that hat pretty much lets you know. The hat.
Look, I know that. He looks like Bowie. Just look at his fucking face. Yeah. It's Bowie.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're out of time. And want to thank you wholeheartedly for taking the time in your day to listen to the Bruce Montalvo Show. And don't worry, because if you want to listen to us, even in death, they're going to resurrect you. And in 30 years from now, they could resurrect you and you could listen to the Bruce Montalvo Show.
Oh, stop.
No, really, they got a story called L.A. High-Tech Outlet Aims to Resurrect Dead People Within 30 Years. I just wanted to get that story out.
Speaking of dead people, okay,
I see dead people. And that's right. Before we go,
we have
Dave McGowan. There's a guy that I know, very influential. We're talking about Laurel Canyon and Scott Weiland and all these people. Dave McGowan died recently. He was a major voice in the conspiracy movement. He wrote the book Weird Scenes Inside Laurel Canyon. And, not for nothing, he has amazing information in that book. He kind of laughed at me and my buds when we made the illustration that Jim Morrison, a fat Jim Morrison, looks like a fat Rush Limbaugh, and we asked him to elaborate, and he ended up attacking certain people viciously. But now, Dave is not with us anymore.
So yeah,
he did inspire a lot of my work.
They say he had cancer. I don't believe it.
But anyway, we got Ghost Radar on right here.
Okay, so
it's a recap of our Halloween our Halloween show.
Okay, let's
see, we're doing some Overdrive.
This is Overdrive. We have a program called Ghost Radar.
Under.
So we have a program.
Ghost Radar just said under.
And there have been, Bruce and I were talking, we felt that there was a very strong connection with Dave one night. Very soon after he
After
passed.
I wrote that article.
Right after.
You put on
the
Ghost
article.
Radar, I did a YouTube video called Weird Scenes Inside Nazi Rustic Canyon. And it sounded like whatever was coming through Ghost Radar, and it's talking right now.
He's talking right now. We told him he was going to be on tonight.
What's coming through.
So he also said so many things that were... He said... Process.
He
said
church.
Process. He was talking about...
Experiments.
Yeah, we were
and
asking
we know there's a lot of experiments in Lookout Mountain.
We were asking him about Lookout Mountain, and then...
He said experiment.
And then he said experiment. And
anyway, I asked him to be on the show. This is how he's on the show now, folks, in death.
Yup. We have and he said so many things. He also said something about, didn't he say Holly?
He did.
He said Holly. So you have to understand what Ghost Radar is.
It came through the Ghost Radar.
Yeah, it's like a kind of an EMF. It picks up different sounds or electric. We don't know, actually. Nobody knows. Even the owner of the program will say it's kind of more for entertainment, but I've had too many personal experiences with it. And I believe that because Dave is sort of was an edgy guy in life, we would not have a problem using or knowing or relating to something as obscure as this. So
let's have a seance. Let's see who will come through the Ghost Radar. Will it be Scott Weiland or will it be Dave McGowan, who I asked to be on this show?
Okay, so remember I said to you that he did not have cancer and I didn't believe it?
Right.
Well, what does that say right there?
AIDS. Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen, it says AIDS.
Okay.
And that just came through right now.
It just came through that you heard that
wow.
the voice guys,
wow.
and so it says AIDS is what I didn't want to say, but he said it. And
Dave McGowan died of AIDS?
I think so. I mean, I don't want to slander him. Now, what is he saying?
Something just came through.
Lucky.
Something
lucky. Maybe he didn't want to be on Earth. I don't know. What does lucky mean?
Maybe he feels like it's lucky now that he feels lucky because he doesn't have to feel the pain.
Yeah. I don't know. He looked pretty like he was wasting away.
Looked emaciated.
Looks emaciated. I just didn't understand why.
Wow, it actually said AIDS.
Yeah.
I can't believe it.
I was just saying that. So yeah, Dave, we already told Dave he was going to be on. He's been on radio many times. So let's see. Is he around? Let's see. Open it up because I'm trying to check the words. I don't see anything right now. Let me put it up higher. Okay.
Again, we're using the Ghost Radar. We're doing overdrive on the Bruce Montalvo show. And so kind of a little tribute to Dave McGowan.
You call Dave. He always comes when you call him.
Who recently passed away. I have the Ghost Radar here. Dave McGowan. This is Bruce Montalvo, who believes that Jim Morrison is still alive. Are you there? Dave McGowan from the Netherworld. Via Ghost Radar. Should talk to our listening audience. Well, he's snubbing me again, just like he did in real life.
Yeah, he did that in real life, but he did say something here.
No, he has been. Well, it has been talking since we've been talking.
And he didn't want to be on your show originally, and then he just completely. Then he got into a full-on fight with you.
Oh yeah, it was like the last great cyber internet freaking troll war he had. That guy is like a vicious. In life, he was a vicious troll.
He was protecting his right.
A good writer, too. A great writer.
I don't know why they didn't try to save him. I mean, if he's really part of that...
Yeah, that's right. I found out he was Kevin Bacon's brother.
No. You can't... We think that he has either a Levin's brother or a cousin, but definitely of that same gene pool. Definitely.
Well, I think that's enough for the Ghost Radar.
I
think he came through and he said...
And he said he had AIDS. He said he had AIDS. So what? That's not me. That's the Ghost Radar. Anybody want to slander? Call me for slander.
Look up the app, Ghost Radar. You can use it yourselves, folks. You could have your own little seance. Forget about George Snorri's Ouija board. It's stupid. This is an immediate way of contacting them. I believe it's more efficient.
I think very efficient.
That Ouija board.
Yup. Definitely. And I've had many experiences where it's just been too many weird anomalies.
Well, this show is finishing up to be just like The Nightmare Before Christmas. That's what it is. So we're now signing out, folks. Thank you so much for listening to us. Again, reminding you to put those They Live glasses on every Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time from the epicenter of cool Brooklyn, New York. I am your Jedi Master host, Bruce Montalvo.
And I'm what, Jawa?
You're Jah Jah. You're not Jar Jar Binks. We know
not
that.
Jah Jah,
No,
not
no.
Jawa.
Jar Jar doesn't have a master's degree. So
not Jawa and not Jah Jah.
No,
I'm just Jah.
He's just
Jah.
Jah. Thanks for listening, folks.
Good night, guys.
Order! Order! The court has come to a ruling on the QT Snackle, and it finds it to be a food or a drink.
Objection, Your Honor.
Overruled! Based on QT's thousands of beverages, from fountain drinks and frizzonis to fresh brewed teas and more, a Snackle can clearly be a drink.
Well, you make a great point.
Good. Then why are we yelling?
I don't know. Let's go get a Snackle.
Court dismissed!
When it's time to snackle, it's time for summer drinks at Quick Trip. QT. More than a gas station.
Help us out now!
The sound you've always known. Music that's endured the test of time. Live. Creedence Clearwater Revival legends Stu Cook and Doug Cosmo Clifford. Together, they're Creedence Clearwater Revisited. Friday, June 14th, 8 p.m. in the Diamond Center at Desert Diamond Casino. Tickets on sale now at the Rewards Center or online at startickets.com.
An enterprise of the Donna Autumn Nation.